Hey, guess what? I've written another awful, an awful droning paragraph about this card that I've sent to my, well, I'm going to send to my daughter. I don't know if she's going to hate it so much, I'm sure, but I'm going to send it anyway. Um, I'll just read it. I haven't read it through yet. It's called 5, the number of change. And I've just started off with the other one that I did earlier on. So I don't know what you see in me. I fell from the ugly tree. Well, God has set us there and he set us high. Well, God set us there, and he set us high, so round the ugly woods we fly. Ugly woods is no place for sheep, all they do is stare and bleat. Plus the gaps are far too thin, in ugly woods with tight packs in. The pentagram is called the rose. Twixt her and the goddess died as both. Some folks still label it the vice, but some five-fingered dram folks see fat pink mice. It can be 5 places that you set for tea, or 5 paths cross land and sea. It's the 5th month that we call May. Hand fasting ties the Beltane way. Tied as one, but walk as two. A sort of ice, but sort of shoe. Ugly woods grows precious things. It's nature's way. It bursts and stings, like flowers burning into life, or frozen pipes that cause a strife. This isn't first to set down lard. I just write in thoughts round this card. You came to me the Beltane way, conceived in woods, tail end of May. It was the moon that brought the news. Hand set the date, we might send clues. Now you're tired, but you still walk free. If you look, all points, there are 3. At points they cross, and 2 is 4. I've lost my thread, it's Wiccan law. I did lose my thread completely. Bathed a child, maiden, stranger, crone, and the face you've never shown. So there I managed to finish it off on a... Read it again? That's so amazing. It's not quite... Do you know what? When you go through it in your mind, you think of good bits, and then when you go to write out, you've forgotten them. 5, number of change. I don't know what you see in me. I just wanted to write that bit out. I wanted to write around that, because I like that. The ugly woods, and anyway, it's funny. But I was thinking about cloven hooves and all sorts, like, because of Herne being in the ugly woods, and it is called the hoof, isn't it? The shoe. Pentagram's called all sorts of things. And I had a big long rambling. What did I have? A big long rambling Beowulf type epic going around my brain. I had to write it down. It's like, well, this is all you're getting. So 5, number of change. I don't know what you see in me. I fell from the ugly tree. Well, God has set, and he set us high, so round the ugly woods we fly. Ugly woods is no place for sheep, all they do is stare and bleat, plus the gaps are far too thin, and ugly woods were tight packed in. The pentagram is called the rose, twixt Herne and goddess, tied as bows. Some folks still label it the vice, but some 5-fingered dram folks see fat pink mice. It can be 5 places that you set for tea, or 5 paths cross land and sea. It's the 5th month that we call May, hand fasting ties the Beltane way. Tied as one, but walk as two, a sort of vice, but sort of shoe. Because it is, isn't it? You're tied as one, and then you walk as 2. You go off as 2 paths. Ugly woods grows precious things. It's nature's way, it bursts and stings, like flowers bursting into life, or frozen pipes that cause a strife. This isn't verse that's set down lard. I just writing thoughts round this card. You came to me the Beltane way, conceived in woods, tail end of May. It was the moon that brought the news. Hadn't set the date, we might send clues. Now you're tired, but you still walk free. If you look, all points are free. At points they cross, and 2 is 4. I've lost my thread, it's Wiccan law. They do. It's got like... They cross there, and it's 4, isn't it? And it's 3 points. See? There's lots to think about there, isn't there? And then I wrote let's go with it, which is just a normal. I tried to write it normal. This is hope you're keeping well. Picked up this book today in the word, but I thought I'd like it. If not, put it in one of the raffles or something. The rhyme's really creative writing exercise as much as anything. I don't know if I mentioned before, but I try and send cards that might encourage kids to develop characters in writing projects, either school or at home. They always say write about what you know, so often fact and fiction get intertwined. Also, avenues of learning. I write in verse to the kids a lot because it's a formally used things like Dr. Seuss, and it helps cement the idea that reading and writing can be a magical thing and not just a chore. 5 is considered to be number of change, by the way. I think in numerology, it just makes me laugh that folk get so entangled with the concept the pentagram speaks of demonology. It's just one of those symbols that gets bandied about, like the Nazi swastika, which was originally taken from Buddhist scriptures, which I've spelled wrong. I've spelled Buddhist wrong, so I've just finished with the mistakes of just practicing asking to be noticed. So there we go. How about for a nice thing? Read it again. It's not the best book I've ever written. I don't need to read it again, do I? Am I going to write this out? I don't think I need to. I don't know what you see in me. I fell from the ugly tree. Well, God set us there and he set us high. So round the ugly woods we fly. That should make someone laugh if they read it, shouldn't it? I think so. Ugly woods is no place for sheep. All they do is stare and bleat. Plus the gaps are far too thin. In ugly woods we're tight backed in. The pentagram is, this goes off down a different track then. It's like, I could have carried on about ugly woods, to be honest. I didn't. The pentagram is called the rose twixt Herne and the goddess, tied as bows. Some folks still label it the vice, but some 5-fingered dram folks see fat pink mice. It could be 5 places that you set for tea, or 5 paths cross land and sea. It's the 5th month that we call May, hand fasting ties the Beltane way. Tied as one, but we walk as two, a sort of vice, but sort of shoe. Ugly woods grows precious things, it's nature's way. It bursts and stings, like flowers bursting into life, or frozen pipes that cause a strife. This isn't verse to set down lard, I just write in thoughts round this card. You came to me the Beltane way, conceived in woods tail end of May. It was the moon that brought the news, Herne set the date, we might send clues. Now you're tired, but you still walk free. If you look all points of the... At points they cross, and 2 is 4. I've lost my thread, it's Wiccan law. Babe the child, maiden, stranger crone, and the face you've never shown. I stole some of that. I stole some of that from someone else, but I needed to make it fit to that. So there's 5. Maid, what babe, what? Is it cradle? Cradle crawler, maiden, crone. What? I don't know. Stranger crone, and the face you've never shown. You could use it for something, couldn't you? Use it to develop an idea. I'll just go straight on the fire, probably true. Straight to the angels. Straight to the angels. I'll put this in it then. She won't even read it. She won't even open it. It opens chocolate. Well, then the chocolate will go to the angels as well. It's not my fault she didn't want to read it. Berlin pentagrams. I know, I'm a wicked woman. It's true. You're making pentagrams, have you? I'm going to tell the magic police. I'm a naughty woman. I'm a naughty one. That's classic though. That's a classic piece of writing. So I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to put it there. And it's, what do I write on this? Oh, I don't know. This might get it through the letterbox. A jumble rhyme to pass my time, and ignite stories at yours and mine. Folks have a tale to tell. No, folks all have a tale to tell. So if they get ours right, I'll stop in hell. It's true. What else did I buy? Well, I did also buy a pack of cards and envelopes so I can make some more of my own cards to keep shoving through the post box. Just, you know, something to do really. And that's about it. I had scrambled eggs for tea, pate. I went to Marks and Sparks and bought, do you know what, in there they've got those little tete-a-tete, like narcissus or whatever you call them. And there's 5 bulbs in there as well, but they were little bee pots. I saw somebody wearing them over there. I thought, oh my god, they're so cute. I like ones in Tesco's because they're really cheap. I said before, oh my god, they're so, you know, they're like £1 or something. It's like anyone can afford to get those. But then I just like these because they had the tin, which is great. I think it's sweet. I think some of those are in my garden actually that I got last year. But I like these because they had the little bees on the thing. So I got 2 today, and I went round and took one first of all to my son's, who I kicked off at the other day when he said, "Ain't that deep, Mum?" When I found something and went blimey, I thought, you know what, I better just go round and say, "Hello, I'm the nanny who's a lunatic." And I just bought some flowers to show you that I'm still in the world of the living, and I gave them one of these books because I got these in the works as well. They were only 25p each. They've been reduced, so there was 2, so I've got both of them, and I'm sending one to Scotland. And I gave the other one to them, and it's Chameleon Can, which is pretty cool as well. Chameleons are cool, aren't they? This is Chameleon. I can change my colour, says Chameleon. I will show you. Kind of relative, isn't it? That's it really. That's all I've done. So I had scrambled eggs for tea. Why did I just bought eggs, do you know? What's February stand for anyway? What are we doing for February? We've done a whole month of doorways to open and close. I slammed the door, I've gone through doors, I sent learning doors, fairy doors. I had loads of door things. Door things inside out. What's February for? Febril February. I need to look into that. Hiving. I've done some hiving. Storing some hive things. Oh, that's why I got the bee things, because it's hiving again, isn't it? Like setting down honey. Well, sort of. Honey for the hive. Beehives. That's it really. I haven't had another cup of coffee. Why did I get black pudding? I gave it to the dog for her tea. I couldn't be able to get anything else, and she had black pudding and a bit of scrambled egg and a bit of toast and pie, and that's it. I've got a headache from the coffee probably, from earlier on. I've got ink all over my table again. Just have 1 cup of coffee. I could do. one flagon of coffee. I need to find my pencil sharpener. And all my rubbers actually I found them before, didn't I? Now I don't know where they are. I've got to get myself some jewellery because Babe sent me some, but I haven't bought it yet. He sent me one of these before. He sent me a real. I'm lying. I just bought it. I just bought it myself. I bought it from the what? I bought it from the frog box. What are they called? Pandora thing. A real one. It's true. A proper one. With black and pink heart things on it. And a black heart on it. Someone knows where it's come from. They know I'm telling a story. It's got little clovers on it as well. 4-leaf ones. It's a pretty cool thing to have. I do wear it sometimes. I couldn't write a book. I'm not that person. I'm not a person who could write a book. I've got the patience. I'd rather just do this. I'd rather be the breadcrumb person. Just feeding the breadcrumbs to birds, to the others. I'm too old now. I'll probably be dead soon anyway. There's no point me even trying. I'm just cementing ideas. I'm just planting seeds. You don't plant a tree expecting to eat the fruit or sit under the shade. It's true. I'm nearly dead. I am. I can feel it coming. I'll force it. I'm forcing it through. I might write a book another day. Because everyone's got a book in them, but I don't know what mine's about yet. I'm still trying to find out. I'm still trying to find out what I need to do it, what I want to put in it. This are all my scraps. This is just... These are the bits I'm not going to need. I'm not going to need any of this stuff. I'm throwing it all out of the way so I can get to the really good stuff underneath. One of those things, like, oh, do you know what? Where's all that stuff I had before? I can really do with it now. I don't know what you saved me. I fell from the ugly tree. I'll set you there and fucking high. So round the ugly woods we'll fly. See, we would have had ugly woods without any of the other stuff. And who was expecting that this morning? Hurrah! Hurrah for ugly woods. There's no place for sheep. All they do is stare and bleat. And the gaps are far too thin. In ugly woods we're tight packed in. Not so tight we can't move about. Ugly folk need space to shout and swear and scream and stamp their feet and tidy up or lie in a heap. Ugly woods is really big. It's true. And there's loads of space to scratch and dig. And if you want, you can have a fire. Or do what? Make a tree swing from a tyre. You can do that, ugly woods. It's my woods now and you're not coming in. You're too fat and the gaps are thin. Ugly woods, my terms, my rules. Ugly woods is no place for fools. Right, and that was the end of the story.